Democrats' State of the Union boycott. So,
oh boy.
Yeah, last time around was an embarrassment. I remember staying up late into the night writing about Democrats just totally like distracting from everything. Al Green's protest, shaking his cane, getting escorted out, the silly little paddles they had that just frankly looked pathetic. Well, this time around, it sounds like some Democrats are trying a new strategy. They're going to be completely boycotting the speech and attending an alternate event called the People's State of the Union. That's going to be on the National Mall near the Capitol. It's being hosted by MoveOn.org, an outside progressive group, Medias Touch, which is this new media, very progressive outlet, a bunch of Dem podcasters, Joy Reid. They're going to have Dem lawmakers speaking and blasting the president on healthcare and the economy, and bringing also immigrants who are targeted by the administration. Now, look, we've seen
illegal immigrants, by the way.
That was not specified in the stories, but that would not be a great look, I don't think, for Democrats. But I digress. I want to start with Dan here because we have seen Dems boycott the inauguration before, but this is a different level.
Yeah.
Like, aren't there some risks to just being like, oh, we're not going to show up?
Yeah, I think it's terrible. I mean, my plea to the party is don't do this, because I think it's twofold. I think, one, you're going to end basically the State of the Union as we know it, which, okay, maybe the American people don't care. But what will happen going forward is the opposition will just simply say, I'm not going to attend, right? Because they didn't do it to Trump. And this year it's maybe 30 or 40. And the next year it'll be 100. You know, AOC announced she's not going to go now. You also have some Democrats who are not adhering to Jeffrey's, thing that if you come, sit on your hands, if you don't have anything nice to say, they're like, no, we're going to cause a little bit of trouble. And I think if the image, look, we have momentum right now. We have had a good start to 2026 politically. This is one of those events where most of the country tunes in, okay? If the images are of us kind of having this like out of control rah-rah down the street, petulant members on the floor interrupting and banging or whistles or whatever, and then a leader who looks like an impotent, know-nothing sitting on his hands, I think the average voter, just as they're not paying attention to Iran, says, Jesus, you guys are a bunch of immature idiots. Yeah. And then it goes to who's more extreme, Trump and his policies or us and our knuckleheads. And so if I were the party, show up, sit there, stand up, when he walks in, stand up if they have a little kid with cancer. And otherwise, if you don't like his policies, just sit there. Yeah. That's it. Be adults.
Yeah.
That'd be my plea. I'm not going to listen, but
in some ways it feels like you can just feel the frustration steaming off Democrats when President Trump is up there doing these sorts of speeches. And the reason is because he's good at this. Let's be honest. He is good at this. He puts on a show. Yep. I remember one of the State of the Unions, he's bringing in so-and-so's husband is coming back from, a far off place. They haven't seen each other in 3 years. Oh my gosh, there's this reunion. There's this little kid who's getting, such and such an award who, battled cancer. He's good at this. And that's why you see like people like Pelosi, like ripping up the speech because she just couldn't stand it behind him. Sean, what Republicans?
He's a little liberal with the truth, which is what enrages them. And that's where, but look, all
politicians are, let's be honest.
Of course.
Yeah, Sean, of course, Republicans would love it if Democrats make fools of themselves.
Yeah, two things. One, I was at the White House yesterday with the president for his speech at Black History. And I'm telling you, to your point about owning, like the people that they brought in to talk about how the president's policies, whether it's the First Step Act, no tax on tips, it was unreal. They killed it with this event yesterday, and the president was on fire. And I say that because whether you disagree with him wholeheartedly, the biggest MAGA supporter, what you just said, Rachel, is so perfect, right? He knows how to produce an event. His team around him, Lynn Patton, put the event together yesterday, and it was spot on. The point is that they are this State of the Union. I've said this before. This is the one time when like everybody gets a shot at the apple, and like so it's the best of the best of ideas and anecdotes and things like this. It's going to be good. I'm just going to tell you, and I'm not. I also will say, and I'll save this for when we go live, but like remember, and I've said this about Obama, I even said it about Biden, like reading a speech and doing it, like Biden gave a couple speeches that I thought were okay, but it's like, okay, well, you gave a speech, you read a teleprompter. Let's not overdo it. But Trump knows how to play to the camera better than anybody. And this will be frankly, the biggest concern they should have is that people know how good he is and that are the stakes too high, that he has to hit them. But secondly, I will just leave it at this. I agree with Dan. If the Dems want to be a little bunch of babies, it'll rip, it'll turn so many people off.
Agreed.
But there's this competing issue. When Joe Wilson yelled, "You lie," back to Obama, okay, I think the number was something like $2 million in 24 hours that his team raised.
Yep.
And I'm sure Al Green had some kind of huge outpouring of support from the left. Like, as much as the leaders hate it, there is a reward for this among the bases of each party. And that's the issues that Hakeem Jeffries is trying to say. I, Hakeem Jeffries, have to worry about everything. You have to worry about you and how much money you raise and how awesome you will be among your base. But there's competing interest, and that's the problem that they have.